Welcome to our channel, where today we'll be delving into the fascinating mystery of the Titanic and the question that has puzzled experts for decades. Why can't the Titanic be recovered from the bottom of the ocean? As one of the most iconic tragedies in history, the story of the Titanic has captivated the world for over a century, and the idea of uncovering new information about the ill-fated ship is an exciting prospect. Join us as we explore the many reasons why the Titanic still remains inaccessible at the bottom of the ocean, and uncover the secrets that lie beneath the surface. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. The Titanic, the ill-fated British passenger liner that sank on April 15, 1912, is one of the most well-known tragedies in human history. The sinking of the Titanic claimed the lives of over 1,500 passengers and crew and shook the world to its core. Since the ship's sinking, many have sought to uncover the secrets of the Titanic and the reasons behind its disastrous fate. Despite the many attempts to retrieve artifacts and information from the wreck, one question still remains unanswered. Why can't the Titanic be recovered from the bottom of the ocean? In this video, we'll be exploring the many reasons why the Titanic still remains inaccessible, and the challenges that come with trying to retrieve anything from the depths of the ocean. The Titanic lies at a depth of over 12,000 feet, which makes it one of the deepest shipwrecks in the world. This makes it incredibly difficult and expensive to reach the site, let alone conduct any kind of excavation. Furthermore, the cost of such an operation would be astronomical, and the potential return on investment is negligible. The Titanic rests on the floor of the North Atlantic Ocean, about 400 miles off the coast of Newfoundland. The ship sank to a depth of about 2.4 miles, 3.8 kilometers, and the water temperature at that depth is close to freezing, making it an incredibly hostile environment. In addition to the depth, the conditions at the bottom of the ocean present a number of challenges for any kind of recovery operation. The extreme pressure, cold temperatures, and lack of visibility all make it incredibly dangerous for divers or remotely operated vehicles to operate at the site. Even the most advanced remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, would struggle to maneuver at the depths of the Titanic wreckage. The pressure at the bottom of the ocean is enormous, and it's a challenge for any piece of equipment that is not designed for such depths. Even the best ROVs have limited capabilities at such depths. Furthermore, the water temperature is close to freezing, which means that any electronic equipment that is exposed to the water for long periods could be damaged. The harsh conditions at the bottom of the ocean also make it difficult to locate specific parts of the wreck. The lack of visibility means that ROVs would have to rely on sonar and other instruments to locate specific areas of the wreckage. Another factor that makes recovery so difficult is the condition of the wreck itself. After more than 100 years at the bottom of the ocean, the Titanic has deteriorated significantly. The saltwater, currents, and marine life have all taken their toll on the ship, making it fragile and unstable. Any attempt to recover parts of the Titanic could potentially damage or destroy what remains of the wreckage. The Titanic is made of iron and steel, which means that it's prone to rust and corrosion. Over the years, the Titanic has been slowly eaten away by the saltwater and marine life. The woodwork and the fabrics that were on board have been destroyed by the currents and the sea creatures. Any attempt to recover the wreckage would be a delicate operation, and the risk of damage is high. The historical significance of the Titanic also needs to be considered. The ship has become a memorial to the lives that were lost, and it's important to treat it with the respect and dignity it deserves. In many ways, leaving the Titanic where it is could be seen as a way to honor the memory of those who perished. The Titanic is not just a shipwreck, it's a gravesite. Thousands of people lost their lives on that fateful night, and their remains are still there. Recovering the Titanic would be a highly sensitive and controversial undertaking. It's important to remember that the site should be treated with the same respect as any other gravesite. We wouldn't disturb a cemetery, and we shouldn't disturb the resting place of those who died on the Titanic. Another consideration is the legal and ethical implications of recovering items from the Titanic. The shipwreck is considered an international maritime heritage site, and the international agreement concerning the protection of the Titanic wreck restricts salvage and recovery operations at the site. While some items have been retrieved from the Titanic, such as the unsinkable Molly Brown's lifeboat, any attempt to retrieve larger pieces would require extensive legal and diplomatic negotiations. The international agreement concerning the protection of the Titanic wreck is an international treaty that was signed by the United States, the United Kingdom, and other countries in 2003. The treaty designates the wreck as an international maritime heritage site and sets out specific rules for the protection of the site. The treaty prohibits salvage and recovery operations at the site, except for scientific, cultural, or educational purposes. The treaty also sets out specific guidelines for the protection of the site, including the prohibition of any kind of commercial exploitation of the wreck. This means that any attempt to recover the Titanic for profit would be illegal and unethical. There are also environmental considerations to take into account. The wreck of the Titanic has become a habitat for many species of marine life, and any attempt to recover items from the site could potentially damage the fragile ecosystem that has developed around the wreckage. The Titanic wreck is home to a wide variety of marine life, including crustaceans, fish, and sea anemones. The ecosystem that has developed around the wreckage is delicate and vulnerable to disturbance. Any attempt to retrieve items from the site could potentially disrupt the delicate balance that has developed around the wreck. It's important to remember that the ocean is not just a dumping ground for human waste. It's a complex ecosystem that is home to many species of marine life. Any attempt to retrieve items from the Titanic wreck should be done with the utmost care and respect for the environment. In conclusion, while the idea of recovering the Titanic may be appealing, the reality is that it's a complex and challenging process. The combination of the depth, conditions, and delicate nature of the wreck make it a nearly impossible task. The legal, ethical, and environmental considerations also need to be taken into account. We hope you've enjoyed learning more about the challenges of recovering the Titanic. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into history and science.